Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dylcast. I'm your host, A-Dylite. Quite a delight, if I may add.
Here with your mommy.
Why?
That's so awful.
Well then, hello everyone and welcome to the Dylcast. I am your host, A-Dylite. Quite a delight, if I may add, and I appreciate you tuning in. In this episode, we will be interviewing the one and only MeowingKitty. She's nuts, she's insane, but in the end, she is a very sweet, kind, and down-to-earth person. Hi there, how are you doing tonight?
Hi everyone, meow's it going? As Dill mentioned, I'm MeowingKitty. Thank you for the kind, sweet words, Dill.
Mm-hmm.
You are also just as amazing as sweet, and as sweet. Wow,
Amazing as sweet.
Amazing as sweet. That is Dill.
Yes.
I mean, at least you warned them that I was nuts.
Yeah. Alright, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh my gosh. How do I top what you've already said about me? It's true that it's nuts. That I am nuts. Wow. I'm struggling so much.
Oh no.
Proof that I am nuts, I guess. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, I stream cat games. It is my mission to stream as many cat games as possible. And I have recently found out that there's a lot more cat games than I ever thought there could be. So there's that.
That is incredibly awesome. And I know from watching your streams in the past that they are very enjoyable, very fun, and very nuts, I might add.
Oh my gosh, some of them are so crazy. I think the most craziest cat game I played was Calico, just because you got to ride on a giant cat. And
oh god, I remember that.
My gosh. And every time I played it, I broke something different in the game. Like, it was just...
And you broke yourself.
I broke myself, yeah. I just have a knack for breaking things, I guess.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
I mean, a game developer once told me the best game testers are those that break the game. So...
Yep. Good job. I'm proud of you.
I'm just a top-notch game tester. That I'm gonna put that in my resume somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well then, tell us about how you got into Twitch.
Well, it all actually started with my ex-husband. He is also a Twitch streamer. We're still friends, so it's okay. You are allowed to follow him as well if you're not. So shout out to T1S Hero. To Shiro.
T1S Hero. T1 Shiro.
I had to get that T1S Hero because I know it drives him nuts. I know I just said that we're still friends, and that was kind of like, it's not a dig, but it's just like, if I say Toshiro, you might not find him versus if you spell it out.
Yeah.
So that's how you can find him. But I mean, I was super shy at first too, and what really got me kind of in a state where I wasn't as nervous was doing Wednesday streams. We would do Wife Wednesday streams, and we would play co-op games, and it really got me used to, like, being in the camera and not so much the spotlight, because I was always behind the scenes, like, helping him do everything. And then when I started streaming, I realized there's a lot that he did too. Like, there's a lot that goes into streaming that, like, some people, they don't see it. As a viewer, you don't see the behind the scenes stuff. But that aside, that's where I started. And I am one of probably the few people that can say I had 50 followers before I started my first stream. And, a lot of that is due to streaming with Toshiro, but a lot of it is really the networking, is talking in other streams and just talking to people and getting to know people and making friends in other chats, especially in, like, small streamer chats. Like, I'm not saying in big streamer chats you can't make friends there, but, like, in small streamer chats, like, oh my gosh, I feel like there was a time in my life that I was just living in like small streamer chats.
Yeah, and streaming is not an easy feat. Um, there is a lot that goes into it behind the scenes, and I immediately found this out when I started streaming. Never would I have thought that I would get up to like thousands of followers, not thousands, but 1,000 followers now.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
yeah,
I highly believe that you'll be in the thousands someday, Dill. In like,
I don't know. Like,
and now you have your brand. I feel like that's a big thing. Is like I started out like, oh my gosh, the first time I ever used MeowingKitty as a name
mhm,
was back the original Xbox Live was the first time I used MeowingKitty and it stuck. So I've always used that name. So I've
mhm,
always had my theme. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play cat games. Like for you, you had to find your brand, find out what games you're gonna play, what kind of games you're gonna play, and then like even this past year, you've changed your name into something that is like absolutely 100% fitting for you.
yep.
um so just to see your own personal growth, and like like I said, I cheated. I started with a theme. I didn't have to find a theme.
uh,
um so I mean, there's definitely, I would say I'm probably not the best example of road to affiliate, because I basically cheated the system. I had 50 followers. I made a ton of friends. Half of them were from Tashiro. Okay, less than half of them. I need to give myself more credit. Um, uh, it's just the part of like humbly admitting that you are awesome. Um, um, but then also like having a name that I've gone and used for years, and it being something that could transition into streaming, uh in this case cat games. Like
mhm.
not everyone can do that. But definitely a big part of streaming, I would always say, is do something that you love. I love cats. I'm allergic to cats, but I still love them. And there is absolutely a ton of cat games. I thought I was going to run out of cat games and start like doing like just animal games in general, because there's a ton of like really good animal games that I'd love to get to, like Okami about a wolf. There's this flying squirrel pinball that I have that I've been trying to try, and I keep finding more cat games. So I might just have to like be like, okay, we're gonna take a break from cat games because I have a ton of other animals that we need to showcase here.
That's so cool. I remember, like, I've mentioned this many times before, like, whether it's in a stream or not, but I had my username, Dill5192. I thought of it when I was like 5 years old. It's like, oh, the way I viewed YouTubers was like, oh, you just have random numbers in your name and just something. So I just put Dill because, I don't know. And that just became my name for many years. And eventually I would start streaming with that name. I would create my account with that name. And
Yeah, I
whether
grew up
people
in a era where if you used a number, it was like your birthday. So I was like, oh, his birthday must be 592, and then
Yep.
I was way wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone thought that. Well, not everyone, but the adults. Everyone thought that I was born on May 1st, 1992. That is not true. If that was the case, then I would be older than my second oldest brother. That is
I
not the
mean,
case.
I
Um.
did the same thing though.
Mhm.
My old username before Meowing Kitty is my name 5988 is my name and my birthday, and then people started coming out being like, "You can't do that. You'll get hackers. They'll get all your information."
Wow, you are older than my oldest brother. My oldest brother is turning
I keep
32 in November.
telling you I'm an old lady.
You okay? Come on now. I mean, like, you're not the oldest. Like Moo's 36. Not to put you on the spot, Moo, if you're watching this, but you know.
That's true. That's true. At least thanks, Moo, for being older than me.
But
Helps me feel youthful.
yeah.
Although, I mean, at that point, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, there we go. Okay, so uh, everyone knows, or everyone in Dill's Discord knows, he changed my name to your mommy. Moo can be your daddy.
Oh no! What have you done?
We found daddy.
We found Daddy. Mo is your daddy, and nothing's gonna change that.
Dill's Discord. He now has a mom and a dad for the entire Discord. But Dill,
Oh no.
like
Oh no.
Moo is like he is like father to so many. I feel like
And
not to get like completely off topic, but like it was like I was there for your first stream. I was there for Boo's first stream, and it's just like so crazy to see how each of you have grown so much. Like you are a voice for this younger crowd, and you make them have this safe place. And then Moo is just like a father to so many, and he has an equally safe space, and it's just awesome to know that I was part of those journeys, even if it was a very small part of being that one viewer in chat for the first couple of
Mhm.
streams until you guys just kind of, holy heck, did your wings grow? That's the only way that you can say it.
The thing is, Moo kind of views himself as like being an older brother to others, not so much a father. But that can
Fair.
definitely
I
work
can
as
see
well.
that. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. But getting back to the whole name thing, like, yeah, that was of
Okay,
course
he can be Big Brother Moo. Big
Big
Brother
Brother
Moo.
Moo. Yeah. Um,
Uncle Moo.
yeah. But getting back to what we were talking about before, like, yeah, I thought of that name when I was like 5. Everyone thought that my birthday was May 1st, 1992. And by everyone, I mean just most adults. Because, like, judging by my voice and stuff, then I changed my name to A-Dylite. But before that, like, when I had my webcam stream and I first kind of expressed my age at the time I was 14, like, so many people were shocked. They thought I was in my 20s. And especially when I showed my webcam, it's like, some people thought, oh, that's exactly what you look like, or oh, I thought you looked a lot older, or just recently, nothing webcam related, but like someone thought that I was just this completely grown man. And guess what? I'm not. I'm 16
Surprise.
years old. I am a junior in high school. Hooray!
Right, but like you said, you just have that air of maturity around you, not just like talking wise, but even in the mannerisms of you typing.
Mm-hmm.
Like because like you said when we first met you, you were Dill 5192. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean that in itself, yeah, it gave us the false illusion that you were older, but you typed in a way that you could have been born in 92. You could have sold it. You could go all the way with it. No one would ever know.
Yep.
uh
Yeah. So, Twitch is a place where you can meet so many people across the world. However, I know that you have met some of those users IRL. And how was that experience?
I mean, definitely at first there's a lot of nerves. So the first time we met someone in real life would be when we went to a speedrunning event. So we went to NLSS, Next Level Speedrun Showcase. It was like a 6 hour drive.
Wow.
um, and we were going almost for the sole purpose of meeting like a select few people, but the big one was Sinstream, who speedruns ActRaiser. And I just remember like being so overly nervous as to be expected when you meet someone, and like we immediately found him when we walked in the doors of the game store, and he was just like so welcoming. It was like immediately we were hugging each other, which is awesome for me because like I'm a hugger, I love hugs. So just for him to come over and like give us like a big hug, like in the top 5 best hugs I've ever gotten hugs.
I am absolutely a hugger myself, not so much in real life, but more online. I'm all about giving love and hugs. So I definitely see where you're coming from, and I know now that if I happen to see someone even with cat ears that looks a lot like you, then I will absolutely be prepared, maybe even have open arms, just be like, hey, it's you, I found you.
Yeah,
I
I
have
found
found,
you.
we have found your mommy.
We found your mommy. Oh,
Yes.
that's good. That's good. I'm gonna have
Yes.
to remember. Like, I normally it's funny because I actually almost everywhere I go, I do travel with my cat ears.
Mm-hmm.
On the off chance, on the very off chance that I like run into someone, I know it's not likely, but most people that I meet up with, that I know that I'm meeting up with, I'll bring my cat ears. Like there's a few people that have come up our way, and we went to an arcade, and I brought my cat ears, and she brought her witch hat, and we totally took a we're streamers picture.
Mm-hmm.
But we also take normal pictures too, so there's that. You know, I've JRM came out this way, and he like hung out for a week, and even stayed at our house like the first for a couple days. Like you got a hotel, you know, just so everyone was comfortable. They actually ended up staying at our house, and that it's just I find that Twitch is like a completely different world that if you haven't been there, then like you just don't know. Um, but I can honestly say some of the best friends that I have now I've met through Twitch. I mean, friends before I have obviously friends from school as far back as elementary school, and you know those are forever friends too. Um, and most people they make friends through working, but like not everyone can work. This is something that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to leave your house. You can be in the comfort of your own home and make a lifetime friend, and I think that's great.
Absolutely. Like, there are so many wonderful people that I want to meet myself. And, of course, the only thing that's restricting me, not only the pandemic itself, but just the fact that I'm so young. Eventually, it's for me, it's like a waiting game. I just have to wait a certain amount of time, 2 years at the minimum, but it's probably still going to be longer than that, even then. But I have so many
Right.
goals, and I really want to meet, like, all kinds of friends that I've met. Like, whether it's a best friend or just a friend that I just love talking to or whatnot.
I can definitely see you doing that. I mean, I cannot wait. Like, I cannot wait for the day that I see like your announcement say meeting so and so, and I'm just I don't know. I might jump up and down for happiness for you or something, because at this point, as much of it as being a goal for you, it's almost like a goal for me just to like I guess watch you do things, watch you grow, and like watch you meet
Mhm.
your friends. Not to sound like stalker creepy,
Yeah.
um, but I mean, it's part of the mom in me. Me being a mom, just like getting to see you do things. It's
Hmm.
like I've adopted you as one of my own, and I just like to see how well you've done, how far you've come, and just
Yeah.
I really hope that you get to meet those goals too.
I totally understand that. For me personally, I'm not a parent. Obviously, if I was a parent now, that would be crazy. Um,
Just a little bit. I'd be concerned. At that point, I would be a very concerned mom.
yeah, yeah, very much so. Um,
We'd have be having a very different discussion.
yeah, this is what become completely different. Forget what we were just talking about. Oh, what is going on? Dill, are you okay? Oh
Uh,
no. uh, but yeah, like for me personally, I'm also very supportive in a sense. Like whenever someone reaches a follower goal, like I'm always so happy for them. Like I'm always happy to see my friends achieve certain goals, and like even if it's happens to be a streamer who's like small now that grows to be a Twitch partner or something, like I will continue to support them no matter what. Like, and just like you said, not in a stalker way. I'm not just happy for everyone. Just if I faked
right, right.
happiness, that would be like the toughest job of my life. I don't think I would ever do something like that. Um, Anything that I do is absolutely genuine. I always want to express as much love as I can. I want to spread happiness. I want people to feel happy. I want my friends to be happy, and that's the sort of vibe I get. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I want to meet friends IRL. I want to express that love. I don't want to just express it by a command, like exclamation mark. I want to give a hug. Like, that sort of thing.
No, I feel like when you go to meet your friends,
Mhm.
you just need to yell exclamation point hug and hug
Oh God, that's
Can we get a video?
genius.
I need you when you meet your friends to
Yeah.
video you just yelling exclamation point hug.
And then I should
Oh,
actually make it a command on Twitch if it ever happens.
yes, yes. That would be so funny.
Oh, that's
Um,
genius.
but yeah, it's definitely part of your wholesomeness is like it's genuine wholesomeness.
Yeah.
It's not something that can necessarily be learned. Like it's definitely people that try to learn it have their struggles with getting to that, and it just comes to you naturally. And you know I have that. I'm like naturally empathetic. um I cry when people cry. um,
Yeah. Um, in my case, and not just mine, many others. Like, of course, I've gotten into the position I am today, as a part-time streamer. But there are other people that are like, their parents are very overprotective and stuff, or they're just like worried about the internet, and that's understandable. The internet can be a scary place. Um, Mine personally, the way they view things is, they're totally fine with the idea of me making friends. But if I were to ever say that, I want to meet someone IRL, which is true, of course, like they would be like, I don't know, and I can totally understand that. Like, I know they've watched stuff like the best example I can think of. Do you know what the show 90 Day Fiance is?
oh my gosh, yes. I used to watch
Um,
that all the time.
yeah, and for those that don't know,
Yeah.
it's about like these five Americans that travel to different countries to meet their significant other. And of course, I wouldn't be meeting a significant other. I would want to be meeting my friends. And my best friend of all time is in the UK, and that's the thing. Like, what if I go to like my mom or dad, even most likely my mom, and be like, "Hey, there's this friend that I really want to meet," when I'm like 18 or something, and then I say that they're from the UK, and they're like I'm worried that they would just be like suspicious or awkward, but it's not that. It's a lot more than that.
Right. I mean, I think that's definitely a hard thing. I would say though, what you have on your side is length of time. Is you can
Hmm?
say, "I've known this person for X amount of time." It's not like you've only known them for even like a year. Say you this is several years by the time that you get to that point.
Hmm.
That I think that conversation will go over better than other people that are like, "Hey, I met a friend online. They live down the road, a couple states over."
Wow.
um, when did you meet them? Oh, last month. Like that's a little crazy and different.
Yeah.
Uh, like we had known Sin for several years. We had known JRM for several years. So it's not like uh we're just out on a whim. Yeah, I mean, it was a speed run event, so we knew there was going to be other streamers, but I mean, they were like-minded people, and it was at an event. Um, as far as like having JRM stay at our house, we had known him
Hmm.
for several years. Had we just known him for a few months, it's not something that would have happened. We would have been like, "Yeah, we don't know you." So
Yeah.
I definitely think with the length of time, you have a good structure, a good you know ground base to stand on, that you're building those building blocks and you're going about the right way to having that to be an achievable goal. It's not unrealistic. um I mean, obviously traveling to the UK is a bit pricey, so I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of saving money and extra chores involved.
Yeah. Um, and in my case, being someone so young, there are some friends I know that have a giant age gap compared to me. I mean, for example, us. Like,
Right.
many people say that they're either twice my age or even further than that. Like, there are many people I'm friends with who happen to be adults, mainly deriving from how I talk in certain streams, which was mentioned before. Like, again, people think I'm in my 20s, and that's sort of how I was able to talk with others just fine and not just be seen as like, oh, you're just a kid. Like, you know, like
Right.
I
And
was
you,
worried. I was worried going into Twitch that I was gonna be seen that way. Just, oh, you're just a baby. You cannot do anything. And thankfully, Twitch kind of proved to me that there's a lot of potential, even if you're really young. You can always achieve goals no matter what. Always strive to it, and it takes baby steps. It's not something that can happen right away. If I want a Twitch partner, for example, it's gonna take a long time. Sure, it's been 2 years since I've started, but it's not an easy feat.
right. And it was also the luck of finding the right crowd because you can all, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There's people out there that would be like, "Oh, you're young, like get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about." But I
Mhm.
mean, there's plenty of people like-minded like yourself and myself. Is I don't view the number age and be like, oh, I have to talk to this person this way and I have to talk to this person this way. I'm gonna talk to you like I'm gonna talk to anyone else. I don't change how I talk just because you're younger or someone's older. At that point, age is just a number. Like, yeah, there's some topics that I might not, discuss with one person over age, but I mean, those topics I normally don't discuss with people in general either way. um,
Yeah.
so there's that. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to anyone about everything under the sun, and we're gonna get real risque.
Oh God.
That's not my personality. That's not how I talk. Although a lot of my stuff gets taken out of context, and I am none the wiser until somebody points it out. I am just oblivious a lot of the times, and people think I'm like this dirty person, and I don't even know what I'm saying half the time.
Oh my.
And they're like, "Oh, you know what you just said there," and I'm like, "But I don't." Please explain to me. I mean, I'm not oblivious every single time. Obviously, there's sometimes people can be like, "Do you know what you just said?" And I have to take a step back and be like, "Oh my gosh, did I really just say that?" um, but yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I'm gonna talk to people like normal. Like people are just people.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got. People are people.
Absolutely. And you said you say crazy things. You might remember this.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
For those that don't know, I just sent MeowingKitty a clip from a while ago. I didn't know
All
them
right.
at the time, but it's an example of her being nuts. It'll probably pop up on the screen.
Oh my gosh, this is blindfolded Kirby.
Yeah.
That definitely is a good one. And it's funny, I even like spelled it out in that clip and I still didn't realize what I had said, but like people had misheard until after stream. Like after stream I went back and watched the clip and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I even spelled it."
Yep.
uh, but that was because I was like reading. Somebody had put it in chat, like the letters, and I was reading them off. But I was like, I don't understand, and I was like, I was just like, okay, moving on. We're playing the game. Like
uh, hmm
that's funny.
But yeah, like, again, I'm young. There are some people that I know are adults. So like, um, if I were to say, like the friend I was thinking of the first time is only like what 5 years older than me right now, and obviously that's gonna be a lot more understandable when I'm like 18. It'll still be a 5 year gap, but hey, at least it's still like the same sort of generation. Would that be the right term?
Right? Yeah, I
Like,
see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. versus me turning 18 being like, hey, I wanna talk to a 36-year-old, let alone that's twice the age of 18. So like it's it would be just like, oh hey, are you sure you're okay with this? And basically like, again, like you said, age is just a number. Like, I've known you for 2 years. I've the minimum amount of time that I've known someone is 2 years. That's the amount of time that I've been on Twitch, and I know that at the time that I'm going to be able to have that opportunity, it's going to turn into several years, not just years. Only now it's just gone plural after August. So I really hope
Right.
that I can just meet somebody. I just really need that in my life.
No, I am right there with you. I mean, I'm hoping that when the time comes, I'm one of those somebodies that you get to meet too.
I know you said that you made a kitty promise that it'll happen.
Yes, yes, a kitty promise. That's a kitty guarantee.
That's what it was,
The
kitty guarantee. Yup, and then you'd
uh,
give like the biggest hug.
oh yeah. A spoiler. My plan was to get like how like Hershey's has Hershey's Kisses and Hershey's Hugs. I was
Uh
gonna get like just like a bag of Hershey's Hugs and like chuck them at you and be like, get hugged.
huh. or or it'll be like the kitty kisses redemption in your channel. Like you'd actually give a real one, like the
You
Hershey
get-
kiss.
yeah, just the Hershey Kisses.
Oh man.
For all those times that you redeemed kisses.
Yes. Just you just give all of them. Just and then it just becomes like 20 Hershey kisses, and then I'm just like, oh my god, so much chocolate.
Right? The chocolate is so good. So good. The hugs are good
Absolutely.
too. I definitely need to get more of the hugs because those are tasty. Um, my go to is normally the almonds because I'm nuts. You are what you made of. So I have to eat sweets and nuts to stay sweet and still be nuts.
Yeah. But wait,
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hershey hugs are a thing?
Yeah.
I've never heard
Like
of that.
they have the kisses and the hugs. The hugs are the ones they've got like the swirl on them, so it's like they're being hugged.
I've never seen that before. You'll have to show me that sometime.
Well, you're gonna get a bag of them when I meet you. I'll more than show you. You'll be eating them.
You see, you say when, but then in my perspective, it's like if. And then at the same time, the kitty guarantee. So it's like,
The kitty guarantee it's gonna happen. Unless like knock on wood, don't go dying on me, Dill. That's the
no,
only
no, no,
way it's
no,
not
no. That's the
happening.
last thing
I
I
mean,
want.
then I'd have to like ask your parents if I can come to your funeral to chuck hugs at you.
Oh no,
Then they're
no.
just gonna question all my choices.
I remember. I remember we were having a conversation one time. And you were saying you'd want to mail me brownies, but then like,
Yeah. Oh
oh
my
no,
gosh.
that'd be very sus, as they'd say it in Among Us.
Yes. Yes. uh, it was probably
Uh,
around when I was mailing brownies to Tig. I mail brownies to Tig every year for his birthday. Um, just but it's that whole like you really I can't explain the type of friendships that are made on Twitch. Unless
yeah.
you've made them. I mean, obviously, if anyone in your Discord here, uh, they're here most likely because of Twitch, so they know.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that each one of them have made that special connection, that special friend. And I know several of them consider you that special friend, even. So
Yeah.
it's so cool that you have that, and it's like, oh my, I can't even like when you first started streaming, I knew that you were gonna do good. You had the voice for it first off. I mean,
Oh
you didn't
man.
have game audio. You just had your voice, and
Uh,
not everyone can make that work. But you made
yeah.
that work because you have the voice for it. It's a very calming, like it almost feels like home. If you were to give the
Hmm.
definition of how home feels, it's like that feeling of belonging. That's what you give to people. If I mean, I somebody can tell me that I'm wrong, but that's what I get is like not like mommy's home, but like
Mommy's home.
mommy's home. Let me listen to my son talk to me. But no, it's just it's a feeling of belonging or feeling included. You don't leave anyone behind. You're always like super attentive to what's going on in chat. You know, you hardly ever miss anything. So you've always had that though, and so it's to say that you've grown to where you are. It's not as much of a shock because I knew you were going to get to this point. You just always have had that. You know, it's kind of like when you first meet like I don't know, of a famous actor or something, and it's their like first show or their first movie. You're like, oh, that person's gonna go far. That's the vibes that I got from that first stream. No game audio, and it wasn't like, oh man, he's not gonna make it if he can't even get a game audio. It's like he has the voice. He's gonna go far. um, so
Yeah.
you've definitely have kept those vibes. You didn't lose that, and that is a good thing. That even though you've grown, you've kept that feeling of belonging, and you give that to so many people.
Yeah. The way Moo described it is that I had the radio voice in a sense, or a smooth radio voice, as he
Yes.
recently described as soon as I kind of expressed that. I mentioned it before, but like just recently, I said to one person, "Oh hey, I'm 16." They're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! You're joking, right?" So you know,
Right. I mean,
it's
it's
that
true.
sort of
It's
thing.
that like sultry late night radio smooth talk.
Hmm.
Yeah, you definitely got that going. And it's the great thing is like you're not altering your mic to do it.
Hmm. You know, even my family thought that I had that smooth radio voice. And by family, I mean immediate family. My dad was the first to mention it, along with I believe my uncle. Um, they definitely saw it in me that. And when I first mentioned the whole idea of streaming on Twitch to non-immediate family, like, and even my immediate family at first, like, they kind of just saw it as just, oh, he's just playing games online, just locked up in his room, like. But then they soon, as time progressed, like they found out that it was a lot more than that, and especially since I was like saying, "Oh hey, I'm affiliated on, or yeah, I'm affiliated on Twitch," and of course I don't even stream for money. I stream to have fun, but they they found that part inspiring in a sense. Um, but yeah.
Right. I mean, that's in a sense like you had your family behind you too, so that's great as well. Uh
Mhm.
Curiosity question. So do any of them ever watch your streams too?
Yes and no. The only one who has ever like watched my stream before is my oldest brother, who is about a year younger than you. He was the one that actually recommended Twitch to me. I believe it was like June or something, where he was like, "Hey, you should try streaming on Twitch." While I was like just playing games a bunch, um, and then it just happened.
Fair. I still need a better word than fair, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Tashiro's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like they were like very mindset of, oh, all you do all day is play games, and they didn't understand it. Um, but the second time we went to NLSS, we, part of it was raising money, and so we got to hit to share with a hammer a bunch. That was
Oh
fun.
my.
Um, yeah, I think we did it like every $5. Um, Sin got to bop to Shiro with a big inflatable hammer. And then
Wow.
we handed out little hammers to the crowd, and we had like kind of like a push goal of if we got $100 donated, we would do like almost like a conga line of just everybody gets to hammer to Shiro. Mind
Poor
you,
Chishiro.
we reached the goal and we were still mid run, so you can't just stop the run. So he's like trying to play through and getting
Oh
bopped by
my.
this hammer. But that was something that we had shown them before we left for the event how to put it up on the TV. Because they're a little older, so they had to be shown the technology. Our daughter actually helps them to actually get it up on the TV that day. But they watched it, and that was when they realized, oh wow, like you raised over $100, and they thought it was cool, and so um, I mean, for them, obviously it's about the money, but it's more than just the money. It's for me, it's a hobby. Like I only do
Hmm.
1 day and 2 hours. Uh, because for me, I mean, when I started, it was uh, not to sound ultra like sad, but I was severely depressed when I first started streaming because it was peak of my migraines and I was very sick and I couldn't get out of bed and I needed something that made me feel like I was human, that I was still doing something for the world. So for me it's more than that. It's even if I don't have a live viewer, I hope somebody goes back to that 2 hour Sunday stream and at least gets a laugh or a smile. Because that's what keeps me going. That's what my purpose was. That's why I started. Was just I wanted to make someone smile because I'm stuck in my bed and I need to feel like I'm doing something for the world. Luckily, I'm much better now, and it's just I mean,
That's
I still
good.
get migraines. It's still going to be a struggle, but
Hmm.
much less than back then. And it's been a crazy journey for me to say the least.
Absolutely. And I do remember when you got those migraines, I felt so bad and like I was hesitant to like message you to feel better, and I remember like going to Cheryl to say, "Oh, could you tell MeowingKitty that I hope she feels better?" Because I didn't want. I was just thinking about you and like, "Oh no, I'm sure she doesn't want to look at screens. That would be a bother and so much stuff." Like I'm just like that in general. I'm
Yeah,
very self
yeah, no,
conscious.
that was a big thing. There was days I couldn't even look at my phone. So, but I did get your messages. There's I always could still hear him, and I would hear him answering people that yeah, she's doing okay, she's hanging in there. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it was like very weird to I think the depressing thing about the migraines is I was light sensitive, so light made it worse. So he had to be in a dark room all the time.
Mm.
So for anyone out there in a dark room, if it's not late at night, give yourself some light. um,
Yeah.
even if it's just for a little bit, don't it it's just a change in mindset of you don't realize how much sunlight helps your mood until you're in a place where you don't get any sunlight and
Yep.
not of your choice. So definitely if you're able to get some sort of light source and it's like not midnight,
Yeah.
you know definitely occasionally turn on a light, or at least a light lamp. Don't be in the dark all the time. It's not fun. I mean, I know for some people it's just their mood and their mindset, but it's not very fun.
Hmm. Yeah, and I especially feel the same way. Like, Um, whenever I do those long streams, if it's 24 hours and I start during the day, I find that I have a lot of energy. and then like all of a sudden it's midnight and I'm like really tired. Then once it's past 7 a.m. and the sun starts rising, it's like, wow, I have energy again. Like I feel
Yeah.
so tired during the night. And like even if I start at night and I've gotten rest, like I still feel tired. Uh it's crazy.
It's the sunlight. It does wonders.
Yep.
uh,
I've started to be a lot more open with the concept of me streaming on Twitch in school now that I'm back in person. Especially to my foods class. That's the last class you probably would have thought I'd mentioned it in. Um, and even in my English class to some extent, like I made a presentation, just basically, part of it was describing that I stream on Twitch and like I had my love emote that sort of described that. But my plan is to make a video for them to kind of see, and it'll kind of show how I act and how the different types of myself are like black and white. One side is just me being a very quiet person, which is what they see often. And then there's the other side where I'm just very much talkative. And I'm just, again, completely different. Like, I'm able to talk to people across the world, and what to them is complete strangers. What I see is just a lot of friends that I can make. It's just so awesome that how like an online experience like this can change how you are as a person so much.
right. It's very true. It ties into my earlier statement of Twitch really is a different world. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you enter Twitch and you become a different person. Um, I mean, I want to say I even changed, not like significantly a lot, but I am definitely more open. I definitely talk more than I would to just a random person on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think the older I get, the more I get talking to people that don't want to talk to. I get it from my grandma. You know, like little old ladies that like can talk to anyone and everyone for like hours on end, and they just are like, "I'm just trying to buy my groceries, grandma." I
Hmm.
think I'm turning into that.
Oh my.
So it might be like an age thing, but like I feel like there's like I mean, there's some days that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Other days I'm like, oh, I love her hair, but I'm too scared to tell her that I love her hair.
Yeah.
Just like little things like that. But I mean, Twitch definitely helped me feel more open with that, even. Is like, I'm like, no, I got this. I can tell her that I like her purple hair.
Yeah.
um but yeah, definitely it I think part of it may be that you talking on Twitch hopefully has helped you in person as well. Is like it gives you that openness to where, like you said, now you're able to talk about it and you're showing it off in school. And I think that's awesome, because then hopefully some of your classmates will start coming to your streams and be like, oh, this is really cool, and maybe they'll get like the same benefits out of it that you
Mm-hmm.
are. I definitely think it's something that should be shared. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things obviously that Twitch does wrong, but
Yeah.
the communities that you can find in some of the smallest communities, even. I'm not saying that big communities aren't good. I'm just not in any of them, so I can't speak from experience in those. But a lot of the communities I am are in are smaller communities, and I've yet to see any real like toxic just people in general. I mean, yeah, you get them here and there, but it's not often. It's not as often as other places I've seen on the internet. Um
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, like I show off the fact that I'm streaming not because I want to promote it, but more so just it's a small effort to make friends, perhaps. Like again, it's not just me being like, oh hey, I stream 3 to 9 p.m. every Friday. Come check me out. I
Come
want
check
them
me out.
follows. It's not that by no
Hey
means.
guys, I'm trying to get to 1,000. Help me out here.
No, I did mention that I had almost 1,000 followers to my English class, but I didn't say much. But yeah, it's just sort of an effort to kind of just make friends in a sense, and who knows, maybe I can even show this to a class. Maybe they can find out how I am, and I just don't want it to seem like I'm just desperate for friends or anything. Like, it's just a way to show how I talk, and even to someone who's an adult.
Right. And like you said, it's a way to make friends. There may be someone in one of your classes that's just as shy as you are in person, and they see how you are online, and it gives them that first step to be like, hey, I watched you and I really like your content. And like you said, you might be able to build a friendship out of it. And, one that you don't have to travel to see. Um, so, I mean, that's definitely an extra benefit of showing it off to your class, of course.
Definitely. And this is only the first month, or almost the first month. We started September 1st, which is the earliest school has ever started, like, for me. Um, and mind you, I moved in 2018, so it's two different districts, but in the end, both had like a
Yeah.
starting point of September, and um, again, it's only the first month that I'm going through, and knowing that I'm starting to be more open like this, who knows how the rest of the year can go? By the time the school year ends, am I going to make friends with a bunch of classmates, or even just one? Will I have people that decide to tune into my Twitch when I stream, which currently Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Like, will they make time to pop in, or are just going to follow, support, not do much? Because like not everyone is has been exposed to the online world that much, but that doesn't mean nobody watches Twitch or anything like that.
Right. I mean, Twitch is becoming more and more popular, even. I mean,
Hmm.
even when Toshiro first joined Twitch, I had never heard of it. Like, never. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I've been using this since it was called Mixer. And I was like, I didn't
Mixer.
even know what Mixer was.
That's funny because Twitch wasn't even called Mixer.
I, yeah, so I don't even know what. I mean, I don't even know what he was talking about, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I, he definitely found this world before I did, that's for sure. And I mean, I remember being one of those people like, why are you watching people play games when you can play games?
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
he started doing it, and I started watching people too, and I was like, it's not for the games. You're not watching games to watch games. You're watching the person, and they're entertaining. I get it now.
exactly. Exactly.
I
And
mean, sometimes, of course, sometimes it's gameplay, like especially if it's a game you haven't played, or for me, it's like games that I know I'll never play or never be able to complete. There's also that part of it too, but more often than not, you're not watching the game; you're watching the person, or if they don't have video, you're listening to them, and it's a different level of entertainment.
definitely. And I remember like before my brother like truly recommended Twitch to me, like the only way I would know of it was like the first few times that pretty much heard of it was like when I took a vacation to Massachusetts back in 2018. Um, and I was just watching YouTube videos during the 3 hour drives from New York to Boston, and I kind of just saw that some people would promote their Twitch, but I kind of just brushed it off and saw it as something that's just not worthy of me looking at. And about like a year later, I had created an account. So it's crazy. And I was able to find out again that there's so many opportunities. And of course, Twitch isn't perfect, but um, that doesn't mean that it's all bad. There are wonderful people out there and very awesome communities, specifically the smaller streamers. big streamers are nice, but smaller streamers, you're able to make that close bond, the close connection, and it's something I wish that I had in real life, and maybe I'm bound to get that sometime. Maybe even meeting someone IRL, which we kind of discussed, but yeah.
And I feel, I feel bad because we were talking about hugs, and Loman came over to give me a hug, and I didn't realize it until I like already had put my hand up, like, hang on 1 second, and like he like slowly turned around and walked away, and I noticed like he had his arms out, and I was like, I'm a horrible mom right now.
And I'm guessing he's asleep now. I'd be surprised if he's awake.
When he's watching his tablet, he normally falls asleep to YouTube. Psh, that trashy YouTube. I'm just kidding.
You should give him the biggest hug ever.
Oh, I definitely am. I did at one point when you had said 1 second, I ran over and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were doing, and I gave him a hug, and then I ran back over here. So he did get a hug in.
That's good. All right. Well, it's been very nice talking to you. I've had a wonderful time talking about all these things, and of course, the main thing that we've been talking about is Switch specifically. And I could go on and on about much more stuff, but it has been quite a long time. And maybe you'll star again on a future episode. But in the end, it's so nice to have, or rather, it was very nice to have you, and I appreciate you taking some time to kind of come on and chat.
No, I completely agree. Like you said, we could go on for hours and hours about Twitch and how it's changed each of our lives and how far we've come. But thank you for having me, Dill. It's been a delight. Quite a delight, if I may add.
Absolutely.
Literally. I'm just gonna steal Dill's catchphrase for the end of every Dillcast ever now.
Exactly. Or better yet, you just impersonate me the next time I do a guest stream.
Yes, we'll just impersonate Dill with his permission. Otherwise, it's a crime.
Yeah, exactly. I think the next time I'll ever do a guest stream is like June of next year.
Yeah, we've got a ways away. I can work on my sultry radio voice.
Oh my!
I don't think I can do it. I mean, it's just. Hi everyone, I'm A-Dylite. Quite a delight, if I may add. I can't even do it without laughing.
You see, it sounds like it sounds like since you have the higher pitched voice, like it sounds like it's just a younger version of me.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
But definitely, this was a lot of fun. I look forward to future Dillcasts, featuring others, and I'm always more than happy to come back and have a chit chat.
Absolutely, and I would very much love that.
Well, with that, hugs and love for everyone.
Yep, and we appreciate you tuning in on the very first episode of the Dylcast. This is like completely new to me. I never thought I would be doing this, but this was a very, very fun thing to do. And I appreciate you taking some time to listen in, whether it was for a short amount of time or for the whole entire thing. So yeah, thank you all so much for everything, and I will see you all in a future episode.
Until next time. Okay, bye.